Hey guys, what is going on? So I've got like another list for you guys today. Except instead of talking about a particular band, like I did with Black Flag yesterday, I'm just gonna talk about like metal subgenres. So these are my top 5 favorite metal subgenres. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun list to make. Also I have 2 honorable mentions. So one of them is crossover thrash. So I haven't explored a whole lot of crossover thrash, although I I really like Municipal Waste. You know, I'm a fucking huge fan of Suicidal Tendencies. They're like one of my favorite bands of all time. I also really like. I'm not a fan. DRI. I like their like punk stuff, but I don't like their. I'm not a huge fan of their crossover thrash stuff, but I can understand the appeal. What else is there that's like crossover? Oh, Iron Reagan is fucking great. If Havoc counts, then Havoc. Oh, and Power Trip were awesome. I saw them open for Lamb of God, but yeah. Okay, so my other honorable mention is black metal. I haven't really explored black metal at all, other than like proto black metal. So like Bathory, Celtic Frost. If Venom counts, then Venom. I kind of like. I don't really like their first album. What's it called? The one with the pentagram. It escapes me. But I do like their album Black Metal. I like the title track and Countess Bathory are both great songs. Anyways, so yeah, I guess pro black metal rather than just straight black metal. The only straight up black metal band I've heard that I enjoy that I haven't listened to a lot of stuff from, but I've heard is the band Dark Throne, who I discovered through death metal. Since I heard that their first album was death metal, and I listened to that, and then I heard their other stuff, and I thought it was kind of okay, pretty good, but I haven't really explored. I should, but I don't want to. It just doesn't spark my interest right now. But I really like proto black metal, and I also listen to Death Heaven, but I don't really count them as black metal. Anyways, with the honorable mentions out of the way, so now we have my top 5 favorite subgenres. So number 5 is one that, basically number 5 and 4 are ones that are kind of filler spots of genres that I haven't really explored a whole lot, but I mean they deserve to be on the list a little bit more than my honorable mentions. But number 5 is grindcore. So there's only like 3 bands I've ever listened to that I listened to that are considered grindcore. So it'd be Napalm Death, obviously, like early Napalm Death, like Scum, or From Enslavement to Obliteration. That's probably my favorite album from them. But yeah, and then their album Harmony Corruption is really good too. But I don't know, that one's a little bit overrated in my opinion. And then who else? Oh yeah, Pig Destroyer is probably my favorite grindcore band. And I've only listened to one album from them, though, which is Prowler in the Yard. I haven't really cared enough to listen to their other albums, because I'm kind of scared that they might top Prowler in the Yard, because that's an absolutely amazing album. If you haven't listened to grindcore, that's a good place to start. I don't know, I'm not like a fucking guru for that, but I don't know, I know a little bit about grindcore. And then maybe like early Carcass, I guess. But I prefer the more melodic death metal Carcass over their more grindcore stuff, or I guess you could call it gore grind, but yeah. Alright, number 4 is also one I haven't explored much of, but I really, really like the bands that I do listen to that are considered. This isn't really a legit subgenre, but it kind of is. It's groove metal. So I really like Lamb of God, who are kind of a mix of like death metal, groove metal, and maybe like thrash metal, probably. Yeah, they're like a mix of like death groove, thrash metal, and a little bit of hardcore punk. Yeah, Pantera and Lamb of God are 2 groove metal bands I listen to. And then like 90s Anthrax, I guess, would count. But those 2 bands are just absolutely amazing. I mean, Pantera are kind of a love or hate them kind of band. There's a lot of people who hate Pantera. There's a lot of metal elitists who for some reason hate Pantera, which I don't really get. They said that Pantera like dumbs down thrash metal, which I could kind of see what they mean by that. But at the same time, it's not like all the other thrash metal bands started singing about like how angry they are or whatever, you know. But I really like Pantera personally. And Lamb of God are amazing. I saw them live and they kicked ass, and yeah, they're a really good band. A lot of people also don't like Lamb of God because they think that they're too generic or whatever, which is understandable. I mean, they're kind of like a generic extreme metal band, but at the same time, that's kind of why I like them. They're kind of a little bit of everything. I don't know. I haven't discovered like any extreme metal. Prior to listening to Lamb of God, I was mostly just, thrash and classic metal at the time, but yeah. Alright, and then number 3 is classic metal. So, I mean, I don't listen to a whole lot of classic metal other than, like the essentials like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Motorhead. I don't really like Judas Priest. I can't get into them. I don't have anything against them personally, obviously. I just don't really like them. But, I mean, nothing really beats, when it comes to classic metal, nothing beats, like, I fucking love Iron Maiden. Like, their first, I don't really like anything after, I still like, but I don't love anything after, like, Power Slave also. My little brother is making a bunch of noise. Sorry if you hear that. But, anyways, like, I really like Iron Maiden's first 5 albums. Killers, like I have a poster back there that I fucking love. Number of the Beast is my favorite from them. Like, it's pretty much everybody's favorite. Power Slave, Peace of Mind, you know, just great shit. I also really like their first 2 though, are really good with Paul Di'Anno vocalist. He's a pretty underrated vocalist. But yeah, then I also really like early Black Sabbath. So like their first, I'd say 5 albums. And I also enjoy the Heaven and Hell album from them. That's also really, really good. I'm not a huge fan of their Dio era career. Dio, I actually have explored, his solo music. I know, like, you know, all the classic songs, like, you know, like Holy Diver and all that, but I've never, like, actually sat down and listened to that album. I really gotta do that sometime. Actually, my dad has a cassette of that, but I don't have a cassette player, but I don't know, it'd be cool if I could get a cassette player somehow and listen to Holy Diver, but I don't know, I'll just listen to it on the internet in the meantime. I'm gonna look that up probably after I make this video. Alright, but yeah, number 3 is classic metal. So now for number 2 and number 1, I both fucking love these subgenres, but number 2 is thrash metal. So, thrash metal is just, it's basically what got me into metal. When I heard the Misfits covering, or I heard Metallica covering the Misfits song Die Die My Darling, and then I also heard them cover Last Caress and Green Hell later on, but anyways, when I heard them play Die Die My Darling, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then I also heard, like, their song, like, Metallica song, Creeping Death, and then Master of Puppets. I heard, like, that whole album. And I kind of got hooked on Metallica, and then I also gradually discovered, like, the rest of the big 4. Except for Slayer, I didn't discover them until a little bit later on. Because, like, my dad doesn't like Slayer, and he's like, oh, they suck, and I was like, whatever. And then later on, like, back in, like, November, I actually got into Slayer, and now they're, like, my favorite metal band of all time. Which is kind of weird how thrash isn't number 1 on this list, but Slayer's my favorite metal band of all time. But anyways, yeah, I really like a lot of thrash, especially, like, my favorites are Slayer, Sepultura. I fucking love Sepultura. I mean, I get their vinyl box set, sometime when I have enough money, but that's like $100, but I'm going to get that, and I'll probably do it. I keep mentioning that whenever I mention Sepultura in another video, but I'm really excited to do that back in, like, July when I'm going to get the box set. I'm going to, like, buy that with birthday money if I have enough. But anyways, getting back on topic, yeah, Slayer, Sepultura, Megadeth, Anthrax, what else is there? Testament, Exodus, definitely, Creator, Sodom, Tankard, Destruction, I guess early Venom could also count as thrash metal. Yeah, thrash metal's great. Alright, so now for number 1. Number 1, for a while, my favorite was thrash metal, but more recently, in the past few months, I've really been getting into number 1, which is death metal. So, I especially like old school death metal, like Death, Obituary, Morbid Angel, Autopsy. Not a huge fan of, like, bands like, I don't know, I'm not really into more, like, brutal death metal. Like, I can't get into, like Cannibal Corpse. I know a lot of people really like that band. I don't know, I can't really get into them, mostly because, like, it's not that they're too heavy or too extreme for me. I just can't get into their music. But anyways, I also really like technical death metal, like Nile, or, what else is technical death metal? I really like Nile. Obscura is really good. I don't know if Dying Fetus would count as death metal, or kind of a mix of brutal death metal and technical death metal. But yeah, but I really like old school death metal. And melodic death metal is the shit too, if you look in the right places. When I say melodic death metal, I'm not talking about like Arch Enemy or Children of Bodom, both of which are I kind of have mixed feelings about those bands, because like, they have some good songs, but I'm not a fan of them as a band, like as a whole. But when I talk about melodic death metal, I'm talking about like later career Carcass and At the Gates. I really want to get, that's probably gonna be the next album I'm going to get. At the Gates, they're like their third album, I forget what it's called, shit. Slaughter of the Soul. Yeah, I'm gonna get that album next time I get a record. But, yeah, number 1 is death metal. I fucking love old school death metal, especially like Death and Obituary. And then number 3 is probably Nile. Like, those are probably my top 3 favorite death metal bands. But yeah, The funny thing is though is that like I used to not like death metal, because when I was like first getting into metal, obviously because it was too extreme for me at the time, but now it's fucking awesome. So yeah, Death is probably my second favorite metal band, but Death really got me into death metal though when I first heard Symbolic, and then from there I progressed to like, what else did I listen to? I guess Sepultura kind of, but I listened to them prior to Death though, so that doesn't really count. And they could categorize as thrash or death metal in my opinion. Well, at least their early stuff, especially like their first two albums. But anyways, but yeah, death metal is fucking awesome. I don't know. I also really like how it's like so fun to listen to. It's like really, it's pretty like, it's probably musically, it's probably, I'd say like lyrically or just like the people are probably the most extreme in like black metal. But as far as like death metal, I'd say musically that's the most extreme. Just because it's definitely like the heaviest, especially the subgenres of death metal, like, you know, tech death and brutal death are both really, really heavy. But I'd say death metal is probably the most extreme musically and lyrically. I mean, it's like the lyrics could be like gory as fuck, but it's not supposed to be taken seriously for most bands. But I mean, I don't know, I enjoy the shit out of it. So yeah, especially Death, Obituary, and Niles are my three favorite bands in death metal as of right now. But yeah, like I said, I'm still exploring the subgenre since I discovered it in like the past 3 or 4 months. I discovered death metal in like November when I got Death's Leprosy. Actually, I got that in December, but I discovered death in like November. I don't know why I'm going on about that. But yeah, number 1 is death metal, so just to recount, so 5 is grindcore, 4 is groove metal, 3 is classic metal or heavy metal, as some other people call it, 2 is thrash metal, and then 1 is death metal. So yep, that's it for this list. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you guys could tell me yours in the description, in the comments. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.